up on Fulton today. Fulton takes major steps to educate law enforcement and the community about victims' rights when it comes to strangulation. We'll explain. And we'll take you behind the scenes of Fulton's 911 operation. It was the latest stop on the county manager's tour of Fulton facilities. Fulton Today starts right now. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis. The Fulton County Solicitor General and the Fulton County District Attorney joined forces to educate the public and the police on how to handle cases that involve strangulation. Now, this is just one piece of the overall mission of this year's National Crime Victims' Rights Week. Amanda Blanchard is the Director of Victim Assistance with the Solicitor General's Office. Ma'am, welcome to Fulton Today.
Hi, Shania. Thanks for having me.
So first things first, let's talk about the theme of this year's National Crime Victims' Rights Week.
This year's theme is engaging communities and empowering victims. We're really hoping to engage both community groups and the wider public in the important work of assisting crime victims as they recover in the short and long term from their victimization.
And what is your office, along with the DA's office, doing in observance of this week?
This year, our focus is on strengthening community partnerships. So we're partnering with local organizations such as the Fulton County Family Violence Task Force, where we're getting together to do outreach activities throughout Fulton County during the week. We're also partnering with our justice partners, including the Fulton County Marshal's Department and Fulton County Emergency Communications 911 Center, to collect items that are needed for Partnership Against Domestic Violence and the Grady Rape Crisis Center. And in addition, we're also partnering with law enforcement to provide needed training and resources in regards to the new strangulation bill that passed last year in House Bill 911.
Now, I mentioned the education and the training that you all are offering police specifically regarding strangulation. Talk to us about that.
So we're really working on encouraging law enforcement to learn about and utilize the new legislation that was enacted last year in House Bill 911, which essentially created felony legislation for strangulation to help improve safety for domestic violence victims in particular. So we're going to be going out and doing roll call trainings for all of the law enforcement agencies throughout Fulton County.
And what about resources for these crime victims?
So members of the Fulton County Family Violence Task Force, including the Solicitor's Office and the District Attorney's Office, will be holding resource fairs in different areas of Fulton County, where we're going to be distributing information about resources and referrals that are available throughout Fulton County for victims of crime.
And Amanda, let me get your final comments.
So I'm just very excited that we have the opportunity to raise awareness about the services that are available for victims, particularly in reaching out to underserved communities in Fulton County. And we want to make sure that we get to the north and the south parts of Fulton County that may not get the resources that are available in Atlanta or may not be knowledgeable about what's available to them.
Amanda Blanchard, great work that your office is doing along with the DA's office. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks again for having me.
Meanwhile, thousands of children are also victims of crime each year, and oftentimes that crime comes in the form of abuse. Well, April is also Child Abuse Prevention Month, and FGTV's Priscilla Ortega explains how special child advocates in juvenile court are trying to get children the help they need.
Shania, the Juvenile Justice Center and CASA, or court-appointed special advocates, are spreading the word about Child Abuse Prevention Month to adults and youth, and they're doing it in a very unique way. To many, this may just look like colorful decorations, but the pinwheels represent hope and bright futures.
The idea is just to represent the happy time, and that kids should be able to have a very fun life free of any hurt or pain.
That's something CASA volunteers are striving to give abused and neglected children in the county's foster care system. Students from Atlanta International School helped plant the pinwheels and then toured the Juvenile Justice Center to learn more about the services for youth.
The purpose of juvenile court is sometimes people need a little bit extra help to help them stay out in the community, become good citizens.
CASA volunteers then explained how they work side by side with the judges' teams to make sure children's needs are met.
A lot of people have no idea of how much goes on here at the court. So we're hoping that the students got a really good idea of what happens here, what the judges do, and then also the services that are provided to the community and the families.
So I think that's really important for the children to have another voice for them, because I know as a kid sometimes people don't take you so seriously, and if you're really in that situation where you're uncomfortable in your home and you're uncomfortable in your situation, you want your voice to be heard.
Last year, 170 Fulton County CASA volunteers served more than 500 children. Each pinwheel signifies a child represented by CASA. So far, that's been more than 200 this year. Now, if you want more information about CASA, you can call 404-613-4720. Reporting at the Juvenile Justice Center, I'm Priscilla Ortega for FGTV.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. Now, are you looking for a program to help your child develop good leadership and citizenship skills? Well, you may want to consider the Marshals Department Junior Deputy Program. Applications are now being accepted for youth ages 12 to 16. The junior deputies can learn about the roles and responsibilities of law enforcement officers. They will also take part in public service projects.
The students take multiple classes in gang activity, bullying. We take them on a tour around the Justice Center, around the Marshals Department, and the various agencies that we interact with. They also take classes on emergency vehicle operations. We do a community service project and a host of other things.
The deadline to submit your application is June 6th.
They have to either be a student in Fulton County, a family member of an employee of Fulton County, or be a resident of Fulton County. They also have to submit a completed application as well as an essay, just one page long, 200 words, and also get a recommendation from a teacher or administrator at their school.
You can get more information on the program and the application process by contacting Bridget Mason at the phone number and email listed right there on your screen. Fulton's county manager gets an up-close look at Fulton's 911 operations. It was his latest stop on his Get to Know Fulton County tour. Director of 911 Services, Joe Barriswain, gave the tour of the newly renovated facility, along with its new computers and workstations and major upgrades to its digital radio system.
We've upgraded the chairs. We are still in the process of upgrading the technology. The radio system should be coming online in the next few months, which will be migrating over to the digital radio system.
The county manager watched as operators handled call-taking responsibilities.
235, you get 16 per the alarm company, 16 per alarm company.
He was impressed with the departments and the operators.
These are life and death situations that these folks take on. We just came from a class where we're training a number of new people. I find it amazing that in a short 10-week period of time, with some on the job training as well, they'll be ready to go. And I can tell you that if I was doing it, as I told the class, it'd probably take me 10 years, not 10 weeks. So again, it's just one more example of a hugely important public service that is done by Fulton County, not just in the unincorporated areas, but in multiple cities. Tiffany was not only multitasking, she was quadruple tasking because she had 4 screens or 5 perhaps going at once.
6 actually.
Plus the 6 actually, and then some audio over here in the background, plus a telephone ringing, plus me talking to her. So some way she was able to integrate all that, and what again was so amazing, she's making decisions, split-second decisions on where officers are dispatched or when an officer needs to come off of one call and be reprioritized to another call. So it's well beyond multitasking, and again, just an amazing set of skills on display.
The center handles about 550,000 calls a year and dispatches emergency radio dispatch for over 13 public safety agencies within the county. Well, it was all about finances and property valuations during the second week of Fulton County Citizens University. Students learned how the finance department manages the county's budget, investments, employee benefits, and payroll. One student plans to share the information with his clients.
Because I'm over the governmental affairs for Keller Williams, and what we do is we bring that information to our residents to let them know how government impacts whether the sale of their home or what's going on around them.
The tax assessor's office talked about the responsibility of placing values on all taxable property in the county. The office also makes sure that the fair market value of the property is correct and all property owners take advantage of available exemptions.
Well, the finance part is always very interesting. It was also good to hear about the general fund, give a little more breakdown of things that I have actually called the county in question about.
Next week, students will learn how taxes are collected when they spend class with the tax commissioner's office. And still to come, Fulton's task force, birthed out of a White House initiative, gets down to business. We'll tell you all about it in our district by district coverage next. Fulton's chairman issues a charge to community leaders to help save the lives of young men, and seniors prepare to lace up their sneakers to take part in the 2015 Golden Games. Here's this week's district by district coverage. We begin with Chairman John Eves as he encourages educational and community organizations to assist with young males of color. The District 7 at-large commissioner met with members of the My Brother's Keeper task force to discuss potential programs to best serve this population. The My Brother's Keeper is an initiative of President Barack Obama and the White House administration. Its mission is to work in collaboration with stakeholders to address gaps for youth.
Great cross-section of organizations from the educational community, from the law enforcement community, from the nonprofit community, from concerned citizens who are present. So I'm happy with the range of support, involvement, and we're also looking to expand it even further so we can be as embracing as we can to have the most robust effort as possible in terms of addressing this issue.
This was the fourth meeting of the My Brother's Keeper task force. North Fulton seniors are getting ready for the annual Golden Games. Opening ceremonies are scheduled for next week at Willis Park with a host of events planned all May. As a part of Older Americans Month, county seniors compete in friendly games. Now here's a quick look at what's coming up. In addition to the opening ceremonies at Willis Park, where there will be field day games, there will also be tennis, golf, bridge, and poker tournaments. The award ceremony will be on May 21st. To get more information, you can visit the county's Star Line. District 4 Commissioner Joan Garner hosts a community event this weekend in honor of Earth Day. Fulton County residents are encouraged to take advantage of the free event to have personal papers and documents securely shredded.
From the security standpoint of your documents, it will be shredded. If you wish to watch them shred your documents, you may park your car and get out and actually watch your documents being shredded, and that way you know that they were done and that your identity has been protected.
Residents are urged to make sure that the materials they present for shredding do not include plastic, cardboard, or metal. Paper clips and staples do not need to be removed. No businesses are permitted to participate. Now, if you are unable to attend the Earth Day observances, visit the Water Resources Department's website to get information on the county's transfer station. They also provide quarterly free shredding services. And finally, in District 6, another Earth Day celebration, this one at the Hateville Branch Library. Staff presented a fun hands-on learning activity about being good stewards of our Earth. The after-school activity used crafts to make the point.
In honor of Earth Day, we talk about saving the Earth. We also had children created boxes for recycle that we can use in the library, how to save water, how to plant trees, recycle paper, and we also did a craft. And the craft that we did today was creating an illusion of the Earth.
Earth Day is an annual event that is celebrated worldwide on April 22nd to demonstrate support for environmental protection of our planet. Fulton County hosted events all this month to bring awareness to the campaign. Now you can catch more of your commissioners at work all this week with the rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. And when we come back, a look at a new high-tech medical care option for the Fulton County Jail. Stay with us. program called telemedicine is helping to bridge the gap between medical professionals and inmates at the Fulton County Jail. Now, Sabrina Clark is with the Communicable Disease Department, and she's here to talk to us about this very unique program. Welcome to Fulton today.
Thanks for having me today.
Okay, first things first, what is telemedicine?
Telemedicine is a way to provide medical care to people at a far distance. And in doing that, you are using telecommunication through the use of Skype. So it's almost like you're talking to someone on the phone. At the same time, you can see them, and you will be providing medical care to that person at a far distance.
And what types of services do the inmates get with this program?
The services that the inmates can take advantage of with telemedicine is the educational and interview services through Fulton County Department of Health and Wellness. When an inmate is arrested in the Fulton County Jail, they go through an intake process where it's required that they have a TB test, syphilis test, and HIV test. And if someone tests positive for syphilis or HIV, we communicate with the jail nurse and the Fulton County liaison here at the health department, and they will collaborate and come up with a time and a place to meet to talk with this inmate through telemedicine. And in that way, they would take advantage of partner services interview, where we would ask them questions and we would educate them around whatever infection that they tested positive for. We will do a partner services interview asking them about their sex partners in the past year, and we will provide additional education services. So it's a great opportunity to take advantage of the telemedicine.
And it seems like it could be quite convenient for both the jail and medical professionals.
This program is very convenient because before, the Fulton County disease investigator would have to go over to the Fulton County Jail to actually go on the floor and interview the Fulton County inmate. The guard would bring the inmate down to a table, kind of like a meeting area, and they would sit down and do an interview on them, a face-to-face interview. Now it's more convenient through telemedicine because we're able to actually do Skype, where we'll see them and hear them clearly, and they can see us and hear us clearly at a far distance. We can educate them and conduct the partner services that way. So it's very convenient. It saves mileage for the disease investigator because they normally would used to use their own personal vehicles to go out to the jail to do partner services, interviews, and educational sessions. Now they're able to do the interviews here at the Fulton County Department of Health and Wellness through the use of Skype, so it's very convenient.
And Sabrina, let me get your final thoughts.
Once a person is released from the Fulton County Jail, normally the jail give them a 30-day supply of HIV medication. We encourage clients to come down to the health department and to continue their HIV care by enrolling into HIV care at the Fulton County Health Department. If not here, somewhere else.
All right, Sabrina Clark with Fulton's Health and Wellness Department. Great information. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me today.
Now, telemedicine is growing in popularity across the nation. According to iHealthBeat.org, 89% of healthcare executives said they expect telemedicine to transform the U.S. healthcare system in the next decade. Seniors are truly changing their lives thanks to the help of exercise classes at senior facilities. At the Hapeville Senior Center, participants take brisk walks inside the building before having group workout sessions. One senior says the trainers have helped him transform his body over the last 8 months.
I lost 51 pounds. I came here in a wheelchair. I had back problems, pains all over my body and stuff. This has been a great help to me.
According to agingstats.gov, only 22% of people 65 and older engage in regular physical activity. And to learn more about what senior programs are available, you can contact the Star Line at 404-613-6000. – Cooperative Extension is making it easier to grow your garden. The South Fulton Community Garden has dozens of raised beds available to rent for the entire season. The community garden is a great way for beginners to get some real useful tips and tricks of the gardening trade.
Gardening is therapeutic. It is so wonderful to be out in the sun and to be amongst nature and to be among other people as well. So there are lots of people in the garden and people will help you. It's just one big gardening family, so it's a wonderful environment to be in and it makes you feel great.
Gardening is also a great way to save money. According to Mother Earth News, spending about $32 can lead to a harvest worth about $350 worth of produce. For more information on renting a garden bed, call 404-762-4077. And when we come back, county libraries offer new services for patrons. We'll tell you all about it. Stay with us. Well, your library card can now get you more than that free book. It can also get you movies, music, and much more. The Atlanta Fulton Public Library System is partnering with Hoopla Digital to offer thousands of free shows, audiobooks, and other items online. Library card holders can now use Hoopla with the mobile app or by going to the library's website.
One thing that set it apart, you don't have to worry about someone else having it checked out if there's a title that you want, because it has as many checkouts as you want and it can be checked out to as many users.
The free content eliminates late fees and allows patrons access 24/7. For more information, go to afpls.org or call 404-730-1977. And finally, young athletes head to the track for the county's Track and Field Championship. Young boys and girls from Fulton's Parks and Recreation Department show off their skills at Banneker High School. The athletes participated in the long jump, 4x1 and 4x4 competitions.
I like track and field because it teaches you a level of responsibility and excellence, how to put effort into everything that you do, not only in track but as well as school, extracurricular activities.
The competitors range in age from kindergarten to high school. Parents cheered on young athletes from the stands as the coaches provided support from the sidelines.
Kids are very much excited. That's the topic of discussion for the last month, being prepared for the county meet. And how we prepare, we start early December with our training, early training, and we've been working for the last few months. We've run in a few meets, and we have the children pretty much ready to participate today.
What this does is it exposes them to, like I said, the sport of track and field, but it's not about track and field. All of them are not going to be track stars. But what it may do is create some kind of pattern in their life where they say, well, I got to go run, I got to go exercise, I got to go do this, to keep themselves healthy.
Parks and Recreation also offers youth baseball, basketball, cheerleading programs, just to name a few. You can contact the park closest to you for information. And before we go, our reminder that we'd like to connect with you online. Check us out on Twitter and Facebook and watch us anytime on our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis. Thank you for joining us. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.